If you have been growing your seedlings on the windowsill, you may find that they have become a bit leggy. Like you can see, these are basically trying to grow towards the light and they've grown a bit too quickly under a bit too much heat, and so they're all over the place. And one of the things that needs to happen is they need pricking out. Now, pricking out is just a term for separating them from being all kind of muddled and conjoined with their siblings, so that each one has its own space to grow. And there's a few tricks that you can use right now if your seedlings have become leggy. So first of all, when you prick out, you need something to sort of dig gently underneath the little seedling and kind of dislodge its roots, and I think the best thing is a chopstick. So I'm just going to, and what you can do, you can either do it one by one, or you can take out a clump, my nose, take out a clump like that. So I have a little bunch of seedlings. It's very important that you don't handle the seedling by the stem. The stem is very, very delicate and is really easily damaged. What you want to handle the seedling by is its baby leaf. So that's the baby leaf, and that's the true leaf. Now the true leaf is the adult leaf. It's what it looks like when it's fully grown. This one here is a dispensable leaf, and that's why you always handle the seedling by the baby leaf. If I just put them down like this, and I'm just going to gently squeeze the compost so that they start to separate, and then I'm going to handle it by the baby leaf, and there you go. Not handling it by the stem, not handling it by the roots, just holding the baby leaf. See, I've got very elongated growth there, that's not good. But there is a trick to that. So what I'm going to do is I push my finger right the way to the bottom of that cell, and I'm gently going to nudge the seedling in, and I'm going to bury it right the way up to the bottom leaves. And at this stage, because seedlings are such magical things, any of their cells can differentiate into a new, different type of cell at this stage of life. So essentially, a stem cell, if it gets buried in the ground, goes, oh, I no longer need to be a stem, I need to become a root, and that's what it will do. So it's a bit magic at this stage, which means that you can drop your seedlings if they get a bit too leggy. That is about all I need to do for these guys. So it looks messy, and I'm totally, it's not like the tidiest job. I wouldn't pass my RHS gardening examination for growing like this, but they will be okay, and that's the important thing to remember. So the other thing that's really key to do now is to not pour water all over them so they flop. Again, to use that method where you allow them to soak up the water from underneath, and then all the compost will settle. So I'm just going to use a great reseed tray. So first you get a seed tray which you can fill up with water. And just sit the seedlings in that water and they will soak it all up. Don't overfill the tray because obviously it will spill all over the place. And when the surface is obviously wet and dark, that means the whole thing has, taken up as much water as it can. So if you don't have enough, just, pour a little bit more down in there after half an hour. And it will, like I say, it looks a bit messy, but they will survive and carry on and grow, and hopefully it hasn't been too late and they will turn into lovely seedlings.